Championship race, 50 laps here at Lernerville. Championship night for the UMP modifieds here for Dirty Old Bastards. We're going to be here tomorrow night for the 410 championship. We thought we'd jump in here real quick. 50 laps of this race. We got Daryl Bass on the pole, so it looks like the champion's coming down to Jared Murphy. Jared Murphy starting on the outside of the front row there in the 64. This is his championship to win, it looks like. So Jared Murphy just needs to have a good finish here tonight. Daryl Bass, Jared Murphy, Richie Gaines, your top three right now. All right, we're going to get ready to go to green. One more lap left to go here. Coming around the back straightaway, pace truck bringing him to the turn number 3. Bass there on the front row. Bass down on the inside pole in the 90, or excuse me, in the 90 car, 64 up on the outside of Jared Murphy. Jared Murphy going to get a good start, but here comes Bass down on the bottom of the racetrack. Is going to take the lead into turn number 1. 1 of 50. Then we got the pink Hello Kitty there of Richie Gaines, the third. They're in the third spot. Right behind him, Chris Roberts now up to third in the 93, but right now it's Daryl Bass out in front. Jared Murphy in tow right there in the second spot. Running that bottom of the racetrack. You can see Bass running the bottom really well. Murphy, they're rolling in the middle of the racetrack. Gaines also falling the bottom. Gaines now going to get down in the bottom of turn number 3 up underneath Murphy. But Murphy with a great run off of 4. He's going to look to the outside of Bass going into 1. We've got 3 laps down out of 50. Bass, Murphy, Gage, your top 3. Dylan DeMastro right there in the 4th spot. And that really shiny number 62, the 93 of Roberts right there behind him in the top, rounding out the top 5. James Murphy back here in the 65. Actually, it's James Murphy chasing the championship, not Jared. James Murphy in the 65 down here on the bottom, up to 6th right now. He needs to get up a few more spots. I'm not exactly sure how the points are going to shake out here. James Murphy back there in the 7th spot, trying to get back to the front of the race. And we've got our first caution flag. Looks like it might have been involved Jeff Bayer in the 730. See if we can see what happened right here to Bayer in the 7 car. Packing the left front right there. Looks like something broke on that left front. He might have caught the inside wall. He is going to shoot off the top of 3. Airborne goes the 7. Unfortunately, down there into the outside wall. So that looks like that's going to put an end to Bowser's night here. We get back to live time. Taking a while to load between our replays there. So it is a battle for the points lead with, let me see here. It is Jared Murphy with the point lead. James Murphy right there behind him. So it's coming down to the battle between the 2 Murphys there. Jared and James. Right now, it looks like James, looking at the point stand, it's about a 10-point difference between the 2. It looks like if it shakes out the way it's going to be right now, Jared Murphy's going to retain the championship. All right, looks like we got everybody stopped back here. We're going to see if we can get this back to live time here. All right. Gonna reload our software. They're probably back to green already here. All right. Gets a little buggy sometimes. I guess I should not have done the replay here. Let's see if we can get to on the correct lap. All right, looks like we might be back to live time here. Guess we just won't do any replays. So it's Bass, Jared Murphy, Richie Gaines, Dylan DeMastro, James Murphy back there in the 5th spot, trying to work his way back up to the point. He needs to get ahead of Jared Murphy if he's going to take this championship. Chris Roberts settled back there into 6. It's Bass, Murphy, Gaines, your top 3. Pretty much where they've been since the outset of this race. Of Murphy. Oh, big slider there from Gaines. He is going to get into the 90 of Bass. Both able to get it straightened out. But that is going to let Jared Murphy get to the lead. Bass now falls back to 2nd. Gaines looks like he is going to park it. He pulled it into the infield after that. Got in the corner a little bit deep. Got into the side of the 65 of Murphy, the 64 of Murphy, and it's now Murphy to the point. James Murphy's now worked his way up into 2nd. So it is Murphy, 1, 2, and Murphy here on the mic. So we got a trio of Murphys here for you tonight. So 12 laps into this 50-lap feature. It's Jared Murphy, James Murphy, Darrell Bass, DeMastro, Roberts. Kind of a small field here tonight for the UMP Championship. Only 9 cars, 10 cars started the race. I think we're down to 8. So Jared Murphy still out in front, but he has James Murphy right there behind him. I don't know the points gap here between these two. It's 10 points between them. I'm not sure of the point structure. So I don't know how much further if James gets ahead of Jared, is that going to give him the championship? We'll have to find out here once this race is over with. We jumped in here really late. We got done with an earlier broadcast. Thought we'd just jump in here and bring you some coverage on this UMP Championship here for the Dirty Old Bastards. My name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Look at James Murphy rolling the top off of 2. Watch him go down to the bottom of 3. I think he's going to look for a slider. He is not. As both Murphys going to stay up on the top of the racetrack. Jared and James right now. James Murphy with a good run off of 2. Again, he's got the outside of Jared going into 3. Going to keep Jared down on the bottom of the racetrack. Let's see if James can get a run off of 4. He is going to do it. He's going to pull alongside, take the lead away from Jared. Going into turn number 1 off of 2. It's James Murphy to the lead as we roll down the back straightaway. James Murphy, Jared Murphy, Dylan DeMastro. And let's see if I can figure out the points here. It looks like it's 75 points for a win, 70 for 2nd. So James, if my math is correct, James Murphy's got to get at least 3 spots ahead of Jared to win the championship. Jared's going to, if Jared can fall back 1 spot, if somehow DeMastro can find a way around him, that would be a tie for the lead. Take a look further throughout the pack. It's Tom Ostendorf back there in 6th. Roberts is now falling back to 7th, and it looks like the rest of our field has dropped out. So we're down to 7 cars. Started with 10, we're down to 7. My name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN, bringing you the Dirty Old Bastards UMP Championship. They finished up the big blocks earlier. We missed that. We were busy doing a sprint car race. But James Murphy now has found his way to the lead. 30 laps left to go in this race. 20 laps down out of 50. James Murphy, Jared Murphy, Dylan DeMastro in that 3rd spot. And Mastro's getting a good run here in that 62. They're all rolling the top of the racetrack right here. This is a fine lineup on the cushion here at Lernerville. You got to get the car into the corner just right and really pedal that throttle up around the top of the racetrack. Murphy doing a great job up there. As we look again back here at DeMastro and Jared Murphy, and actually Darrell Bass has now made his way back up into this battle. Bass, your early race leader, fell back a few spots after getting involved with Richie Gaines with a small incident earlier in this race. Get back up to the point. It is James Murphy, Jared Murphy, Dylan DeMastro, Darrell Bass, Todd LeBoo. I'm just going to say LeBoo. They're in the 5th spot. Alright, trying to find my other software here. So Murphy now to the lead. Let's take a look at our lap leaders here if we can. It was James Murphy's now to lead 11. Jared Murphy 7th. Darrell Bass are 3 leaders in this race. He led 4 laps earlier on. So James Murphy now over 2-second lead back here to Jared. Dylan DeMastro right there in tow. And here comes Darrell Bass. He's making his run back. He's back up to 4th right now. trying to find a way around DeMastro there for that third spot. It looks like everybody up on the cushion. Nobody's really trying that bottom. We ran a 358 modified race here the other night, and that bottom in a 1 and 2 was actually pretty good. But nobody down there trying to. Everybody up on the top of the racetrack. We see Bass there rolling through the middle just a little bit, but he's right back up to the cushion. What there is of a cushion here at Lernerville, it kind of just doesn't really build up that much of a cushion because it just kind of rolls off the top of the racetrack. But Bass trying to find a little bit of extra traction there off of 2. Trying to catch DeMastro for that third spot. Tanner Pettit Racing, TPR 24, 10% discount on all dirt track setups here at Tanner Pettit Racing. Design Metal Art, another fine sponsor here of the Dirty Old Bastards Racing League. All right, thanks for being here with us. It is still James Murphy out in front, Jared Murphy in second. DeMastro doing everything he can to find a way around Jared Murphy. We have 18 laps left to go in this race. All right, 16 laps left to go out of the 50. It is still Murphy, DeMastro. We keep an eye right here on this battle with DeMastro and Jared Murphy. Take a look here inside the 62. Running down the back straightaway, trying to find something on top. And you can see just how fine that line is getting on the top here at Lernerville. You've really got to get that car in smooth on the cushion. Pedal it around the top. You can see Murphy right there in front. I'm actually going in about a car length low. Sliding it up to that cushion and getting a good run off of 2. This is our battle for second as James Murphy has checked out on this field. 3.5 second lead to the good. Jared Murphy, DeMastro, and Bass now all fighting out for second. Here's DeMastro going to look to the bottom. Not able to make any kind of move, but he is right up on the back bumper of Jared Murphy. A little bit of contact right there off of 2, and a little contact with Bass. That is going to let Bass slide up in front of DeMastro. DeMastro back down to the bottom off of 4. Going to try to slide up in front of Bass as they get down to turn 1 and 2. Let's look for the slider right here. DeMastro slides up the racetrack. Bass actually anticipated him coming up a little bit further, went to the undercut, and DeMastro kind of held the car in the middle of the racetrack. Bass is supposed to slide up off of 4. Has to cut it off short. In the meantime, this is letting Jared Murphy get away from this battle for 3rd and 4th, and that might just give him the championship if my math is correct. James Murphy needs one of these two to get past Jared for that 2nd spot. And it looks like Bass starting to roll the middle just a little bit. You can see him going a little bit lower than Murphy. He's trying to get that middle to work a little bit, but he lost a little bit of ground there off of 2. James Murphy out in front, Jared Murphy, Daryl Bass, Dylan DeMastro, your top 4. Todd LeBou, Chris Roberts rounding out the top 6. Eight laps left to go in this race. It is James Murphy out in front. Jared Murphy, Daryl Bass. But James Murphy, 7 wins on the season, looking to pick up win number 8 here at Lernerville. He started 11 races and won 7 of them, so on a good charge. Murphy on a really good charge here late in the season, way out in front. Daryl Bass has made his way up around Jared Murphy for that 2nd spot. Murphy gets up with a little bit of a chrome horn to him there on that left rear quarter. Going to settle back into 3rd. It is now Murphy, Bass, Murphy, DeMastro. I'd rewind to see that pass, but I'm afraid I get stuck in live time again. So we can see him coming down the front chute right here. It is Bass, Murphy, DeMastro, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And DeMastro looks down to the bottom. He is going to take that. He is going to try to take that 3rd spot away from Jared Murphy. If DeMastro can get around Jared Murphy, that might give James Murphy the championship here. They're going to roll off of turn number 4. 4 laps left to go. James Murphy has checked out almost a 5-second lead back to Daryl Bass. Our fight right now is for third with Jared Murphy and Dylan DeMastro. Let's see if he's going to look to the bottom of 3. Going to try to slide up the racetrack. Not able to clear Murphy there. He's going to settle back into that 4 spot. Roll around the top of the racetrack one more time. It is Jared Murphy, Dylan DeMastro. Going to head down into turn number 3 here. 2 laps left to go. Murphy's going to come across the stripe, take the white flag. There should be 2 laps left to go now at this point. Jared Murphy and DeMastro still fighting it out for third. That's 62. Looking for a little extra line down to the bottom. Can he make a run into turn number 3? White flag out for James Murphy. We're going to keep an eye on this battle for third, as it looks like James Murphy is well out to the front. Daryl Bass in second. DeMastro down to the bottom one more time, but unfortunately Jared Murphy's got a good run off the top of 2. We take an eye on James Murphy. Going to come across the stripe, take his 8th win of the season. And Jared Murphy went down to the bottom through 3 and 4 to block off any kind of a slider from DeMastro. That is going to end our feature here. 50 laps was over quick here at Lernerville. Only a 10-car field. Only 6 finished the race. It's James Murphy, Daryl Bass. Let's see if our podium thing works here. Look at that. James Murphy, Daryl Bass, Jared Murphy. Your top 3. Dylan DeMastro going to come home in 4th. Todd LeBoux and Chris Roberts, and a nice lineup right there on the front sheet. Your top 4 here tonight at Lernerville for the Dirty Old Bastards UMP Championship. All right, my name's Chris Murphy. Let's see if anybody joined us. I don't think anybody saw us get in here. We came in so late. So we've got Chris Roberts over there in race control. We'll see if anybody jumps in. I don't know. We'll see if maybe Chris comes in here with us. So, good run there from James Murphy. Kind of fell back there just a little bit, made his way back to the front. Let's take a look at our final results here for the feature. Get this podium off our screen here. There we go. And it's going to be James Murphy coming home with the win. Potentially, let's see if we can do some math here. If we look at our, it looks like it's 75, 70, 65. There was 10 points separating the 2. I think that's going to tie him for the points. We're going to have to see if we can get some official word from Chris. Let's see if we can get Chris back here in the booth with us here before we sign off. See if we can figure out who won the champ. Chris Roberts joined us. Hey, Chris, this is Chris. How you doing, buddy? We jumped in kind of late. We got done doing a 360 sprint race earlier, so all you guys were kind of still in heat race. Thought we'd jump in here and cover the UMP race for you. Heck of a racer, but James Murphy kind of falling back and making his way back to the front. By our math, did they tie for the points championship? So I'm looking at the point standings, and it had Jared up there at the top. So it was James at the top of the point standings after the USA. Gotcha. Okay, so James going to win the championship. Claiming his eight wins. Started 12 races, won 8 of them. That's pretty dominating the season for James. Yeah. So my math was right. Oh, so even with the drop week, they still tied. So what are you gonna do? Tiebreakers. I've had your mic off the whole time, so just sound like I'm sitting there talking to myself. That's what happens when you're rushing to do these things in a hurry. All right, so you're gonna confirm that James Murphy is gonna take the UMP championship.
Yep, because tiebreaker goes by wins first, and then second, third, fourth, so on and so forth. And he's got 8 wins to Jared's 1.
And did I catch earlier that you yourself won the Big Block Championship?
I sure did. Was able to hold James off and beat him by 10 points.
That is excellent, man. Yeah, I wish we could have covered some more of those races and got on there, but it was fun to get on here and at least cover this one. Now we're going to be back tomorrow night for the 410 Sprint Championship. What should we be expecting there?
Gonna be another exciting one at Charlotte to close out the season. 40 laps. Title is up in the air between Spencer and Kenny. If Kenny can finish, the easy math is if Kenny can finish 4th or better, he's got it locked down. If Spencer wins and Kenny finishes 5th or worse, Spencer will have it locked down. That's the easy math. And
That's
then
easy
the hard
math.
We'll let Sim Racer Hub figure out the hard math.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks for jumping in here with us. We just, like I said, we just thought we'd jump on here real quick, and we kind of miss these Wednesday night shows. Modifieds are kind of our thing, so it was just fun to get in here and at least try to cover this feature race anyway.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet, man. All right. Well, that's going to be it for the night. I think we did the Aces Up 360 Sprint Series earlier, and we got on here and covered the UMP feature Dirty Old Bastards Championship race. James Murphy going to come home with a win tonight, and not only that, he is going to come home with the championship. So a great race there from James Murphy in the 65.
That's not tied.
It's not tied?
No, I didn't have a drop race factored in.
Oh, so what are we gonna? So we're gonna reverse that now?
Oh no, it'll still be James.
Okay. All right. So James Murphy from Ridgeway, South Carolina, is going to put this for season number 1, the first season they did UMPs here, Dirty Old Bastards. So he is going to be the inaugural champion. We will be back tomorrow night at 9:00 Eastern to cover the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Championship at Charlotte. We're really looking forward to that. Should be a good field of cars. So we're going to